Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel, AmusedJester. My name is Junior, and today we're going to take a look at G.I. Joe Classified's Cobra Desert Scorpion and Scorpion 25. So there's the front, here's the side, here's the back, and here's the side. Let me go ahead and open it up and we'll take a look and talk about this figure some more. Alright, so there it is out of packaging. So while I go around and show you what's in here, I guess I'll just talk about the value system that I've got going into this one. So this is $45. This is G.I. Joe, I believe, has 3 tiers when it comes to figures. One is the basic, which we used to pay for $24.95. Now it's $27.95. The deluxe, which we used for $35. We used to pay $35 deluxe figures, but I believe now it's probably going to be $37.95 or $39.95. And then these guys, which would be figures with animals, companions with them, which we used to pay for $45. And from what I think, getting from the Ghost Viper, but I'm not entirely sure, we are now paying $55 for. Maybe. I'm not sure because the Ghost Viper came with a lot of stuff. Now that I'm comparing with this one, that makes it unique from this one. We'll have to check and see what the next animal slash companion G.I. Joe Cobra has to say, if it's going to remain at $45 or if it's going to be $49.95 or if it will really be the $54.95 price range that the Ghost Viper is in. In the meantime, so here's the Scorpion. We're going to start with the Scorpion, I guess. And these are the articulation range that's possible for this one. And look, it's each individual leg actually has a ball joint attached to them, which is kind of impressive. And then you attach the leg, the tail, and I'll just do this separate because the tail has articulation joints on each and every end of that. That's amazing. So let me tell you guys this. I canceled my pre-order on this one, and then I decided to go ahead and reorder it again. So coming into this figure, as I'm opening it now, it's starting off not with a negative, but I'm not enthusiastic about this particular figure because, like I said, I had already canceled the pre-order on this one, and I reordered it just thinking, you know what, let's try it. I'm gonna regret it if it ended up being a good figure and everything, and I don't have it and it's gone up in price. So I went ahead and pre-ordered it. So, but it's starting off as sort of in a, like I said, not in a negative way, but not in a very enthusiastic frame of mind as I am reviewing it. Articulation point here, and a ball joint there. That's really cool to see. So now the question is, like, how am I gonna come out of this review? Will I be like wowed and say I didn't anticipate that? And it goes, and that's basically how my value system starts going up. And that's basically depending on, we already know the articulation points of G.I. Joe, but I didn't know the articulation point of this, having 3 there. I didn't know the extent of the articulation on the Scorpion, which I thought would be just like almost solid piece of statue figure thing. We already know what we're getting when it comes to these guns and weapons. It's just going to be plain plastic. We've already seen these before, so there's nothing particularly surprising about them. Even with this one, there's nothing particularly surprising about these claws or what looks like a spear weapon. and this thing, right? So even with G.I. Joe, there's nothing particularly surprising about or this figure. So $44.95 is modified joints, articulation there, cut there. This is almost feels like a separate piece, but it's not. It's just rotating. This is the kind of abdomen cut that I prefer because you get that much kind of range of movement, and it's well hidden anyway. Ball cut on the waist. This is connected to the pelvic area. It's got a drop down to somewhat extend the range. It's got 90 degrees, but it starts going out. Thigh cut. This is a separate piece, as you can see, but it's nice and tight, so no problem over there. I'm gonna sneak this in here if I can. And this is a character I don't know anything about. There's no emotional attachment to this one. There's no nostalgia. There's no connection, except for the fact that he's a Cobra trooper. That just adds on to my collection. The nice thing again with this one is the option of changing the look by having the separate face mask, which is kind of interesting. That's also interesting how they accomplished it with this one, where you just plug in the face in there. I don't know if this is completely successful. I feel like the face is way bigger than the helmet once you replace it with that. In fact, you know what's causing it to look like that? It's the beard. Proportionally, I feel like the facial features should be okay. It's just the beard just makes it quite long. I don't know what's going on with this one. It's not really a hood, but it's got a nice feel to it. It's not plasticky. It's almost got a nice flow. So that's a nice piece of fabric. You could probably remove it if you really want to by popping the head off. Yeah. Oh, look at that. A part of it's actually attached to the head. Interesting. And this is definitely not a hood. I'm going to put it back in now. Oops. As we look into the detail of this figure. So I'll tell you what's going on with the value in this one. I would still give this a value of 12, no more higher, because I'm really quite satisfied with what we're getting. It's $44.95. It's exactly what we're used to with the figure / animal companion series or level that we have for this one, right? So base price 10 equaling to $45. Really get some nice detail. This is a separate piece. As you can see, you can remove that easily once you pop off the head. Okay, so base price 12, value 12, base price 10. It just so happens I just recently reviewed the Ghost Viper, right? That's the name of this guy. And I also gave this guy a 12, even though he's $55, begrudgingly, only because I was really quite surprised. So here's the stuff that came with this guy, and here's the stuff that came with this guy. Admittedly, there's a lot more stuff from this guy than this one. We have the animal companion, which, yes, it's a reuse. We have a secondary head, which is the same as this one. Everything else in terms of accessories in this one is equatable to what this guy has. But not only does this guy have a secondary head, it comes with 3 different heads, animalistic heads that you can swap out with this one. It comes with fire effects. And, you know, I gave it a begrudging value of 12 because I'm just really sad I can't afford more. But comparing what we were getting with this one, I can now see why they went up a higher price value of an additional $10 compared to the 44 that we're getting with this one, because it's a lot more. It's a lot more than what we're usually getting. So I really hope that the deluxe price of $45 does not go up, which is what is happening with the regular G.I. Joe price. But if this becomes $55, let's say in the future this was offered at $55, I would have given this a value of 10. This is not worth $55. This, I have to admit, might be worth the $55 that I paid for. I just cannot sustain buying more of this at 55. 55 is a fairly high price for me for collectibles. It has nothing to do with G.I. Joe and what they're offering. It's just a limit for me for all collectibles. That's probably the reason why I never really got into Mafex, because overseas Mafex is around 55 to 60, and then you get the import taxes and shipping here, and it jumps up to 75 to $80. Yeah, that's the $55 is a hard pill to swallow for somebody like me. I'm not a rich guy. I'm just guy who likes to collect stuff, and that like to collect stuff starts getting affected when the price is getting high, unfortunately. And unfortunately, G.I. Joe is entering those realms of pricing where I just cannot follow the collection. So this guy, though, like I said, I was entering this guy's as a collectible where I'm not overly enthusiastic about it. But what changed my mind, weirdly enough, is the articulation here in the backpack and the articulation of the companion, which I'm like, I don't really buy stuff for animal stuff. I don't buy G.I. Joe for animal stuff, but even I have to acknowledge how impressive in terms of articulation this guy is. Yeah, but for $45, I'll give it a value of 12. It definitely changed my opinion going into this figure. And would I buy multiple of this? Not really, because I really don't know this character. There's no connection for me in this one again. It's a shame that we can't really use this face at all with any other G.I. Joe figures, because this is the first of this collector line that has a swappable faceplate rather than a whole face or a whole head. So we can't really use this one for anything else. For this particular part, I really do prefer him with the mask, or with the mask. So I'll just keep this in the baggies and everything. So that's it for my review of the Desert Scorpion and Scorpion 25 from G.I. Joe Classified's Cobra from Hasbro. I think it's good for the price that we're getting. Definitely changed my mind. I'm glad I got him. He'll represent this particular figure in my collection. But I just can't get multiples of it because there's nothing really to connect me to this one. So it's a troop builder. Yeah, you can troop build it. I'm just not gonna be doing it. So anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys on my next review. Bye.